Hi students, welcome to DS Economics channel. Today we are going to discuss 2023 January Kerala State Eligibility State Economics Previous Year question. This is your part 3. In this part we are going to discuss from question number 81 to 120 question. So those students who come for the first time in this video, they can watch the previous video. I have given the video's description, video link in the description. So let's start the class. So today's first question is question number 81. In an examination, 30% of the students failed in physics and 20% of the students failed in mathematics and 10% failed in both physics and mathematics. A student is selected at random. What is the probability that the student has failed either in physics if it is known that he has failed in mathematics? So we have to find out the probability of the students who has failed in either in physics or in mathematics. So here data given, that is probability of physics, probability of physics we can say A is equal to 30%. Then probability of mathematics, failed in mathematics, suppose that is B is equal to 20%. Then 10% failed in both subject. So probability of A intersection B is equal to 10%. So we have to find out here probability of A by B, that is probability of A by B is equal to probability of A intersection B by probability of B. So here data given, probability of A intersection B is equal to 10%. So 10 by probability of B is equal to 20%. So 10 by 20 is equal to 1 by 2. So here what is the probability that the students have failed either in physics if it is known that he has failed in mathematics? That is 1 by 2. So the right option is option number A, 1 by 2, 81A. Then next question 82. Gender Inequality Index GII outlines the disadvantage for women in. So we have to find out what are the disadvantages, outlines of gender inequality index. First one is reproductive health and education. Reproductive health and education, this is right because this is disadvantage for women. Health, education, reproductive health and education. Then women empowerment, this is also included in gender inequality. Then labor market participation. In labor market participation, in comparison to male, females are less. So in labor market participations also gender inequality found. So all of these here, all of these are right option for gender inequality index. So D is the correct option. Then next question, the Prevention of Money Laundering Act came into existence in the year. So in which year Money Laundering Act came into existence? So 1998, 1997 or 2002. Right option is 2002. In 2002 Money Laundering Act came into existence. Then next question 84. Rejecting a true null hypothesis is. So rejecting a null hypothesis when it is true. So rejecting a null hypothesis when it is true, it is called as type 1 error. Type 1 error. And type 2 error is accepting the null hypothesis when it is false. Accept false, type 2, and reject but true, that is type 1 error. So here rejected true null hypothesis is type 1 error. Then next question 85. Involuntary unemployment is likely to be feature of the labor market if. Option 1, real wages are rigid, or money wages are rigid, or prices are flexible, or option number D, wages are flexible. For which reason involuntary unemployment is likely to be likely to be feature of the labor market. So in the labor market, when real wages are rigid, involuntary unemployment occur. When in the labor market, when real wages are rigid, then involuntary unemployment found. So when real wages are rigid, what happened? They don't adjust to changes in demand and supply. That lead to situations where workers are willing to work at the prevailing wage rate but cannot find employment. So this create involuntary unemployment. So when real wages is rigid, they don't adjust to changes in demand and supply, leading to situation where workers are willing to work at the prevailing wage but cannot find employment. So it create involuntary unemployment. So right option is real wage rigid. Then question number 86, a population of 12,000 elements of a mean of 100 and standard deviation of 60. Find the mean and standard error of the sampling distribution of the mean for the sample size 100. Here first data given for the first mean is equal to 100 and standard deviation is equal to standard deviation 60. Then total population 12,000. So we have to find out the mean and standard error of the sampling distribution. So to calculate standard error of the first we have to calculate mean. Here question given the mean for the sample size is 100. So here mean for the sample size is 100. So mean is 100. Then we have to find out the standard error of the sampling distribution. So standard error of the sampling distribution, or we can say standard error of mean. Standard error of mean is equal to, formula is sigma by n root. Sigma means standard deviation by n root. So here standard deviation by n root. So standard deviation value is 60 by nth root. So n is 100. So here mean is 100. So here value is first mean value of the sample size is 100. We got mean value is 100. Then standard error of the sample distribution. So standard error of the sample mean is equal to, formula is sigma by nth root. So sigma or standard deviation. So standard deviation by n root. Here standard deviation is given as 60. 60 by 100 root. So 60 by root over of 100 is equal to 10. So 60 by 10 is equal to 6. So here final answer is 6. So first ask for mean is 100 and standard error of the sample distribution is 6. So final answer is 106. So 106 given in the option number B. So here right option is B. Then next question, the kink in the kinked shape of a firm's demand curve implies that the firm accepts that its competitors dash. So in oligopoly market we find king demand curve, that is first one is more flatter and the second part is more steeper demand curve. So this is this point is called kinked. So the kinked in the king shape of the demand curve implies that the firm accept that its competitor will follow suit with price cut but not price rise. So when one firm raise price, other firm doesn't follow, but when one firm reduce price, other firm also reduce price. So that competitors will follow suit with price cut. When price cut, others also cut the price, but when price rise, others don't follow the first firm. So price, when one firm fall price, other follow, and when one firm raises its price, other doesn't follow. So option number B is the right option here. Then next question number 88, an estimator is dash if the mean of its sampling distribution is equals to the true parameter. When mean of the sample distribution is equal to true parameter, it is called as unbiased. An estimator is unbiased when if the mean of the sample distribution is equal to its true parameter, because this means that on an average the estimator will produce the correct value of the parameter being estimated. So here the estimator will produce the correct value for the parameter being estimated. So here right option is option number B. Then next question, if leisure is an inferior good, then the slope of the labor supply curve is positive, negative, cannot determine either positive or negative, depends on the nature of the supply curve. So here right option is when leisure is an inferior good. When leisure is an inferior good, then the slope of the labor supply is negative. So why negative? Because as income rises, when income rises, individuals may prefer to consume less leisure. So when income rises, individual prefer less leisure since they view as an inferior good. Since they view leisure as an inferior good, so when income rises, people prefer less leisure and supply more labor. So when income rises, supply of labor supply rises. So the labor supply curve would slope downward. So the labor supply curve downward sloping, or that we can say it is negative. So we know that when income of a consumer rises, he uses less inferior goods, he uses more superior goods. So here leisure is an inferior good. So when income rises, people prefer less inferior good or less. So it is negative in nature. The supply curve is, the slope of the labor supply curve is negative. So here right option is option number B. Then question number 90, match list 1 and list 2. First one is A.C. Pigo, John Robinson, E. Chamberlain and P. Sarfa. First, A.C. Pigo. The theory of monopolistic competition. Theory of monopolistic competition given by Chamberlain. Then second, economies of welfare. Economies of welfare given by, so economies of welfare, A.C. Pigo. Then the law of returns under competitive condition. Law of returns under competitive condition given by Srafa. Then next, the economies of imperfect competition. Economies of imperfect competition given by John Robinson. So here sequence is A to B for C1 and D3. So here B is the right option. A.C. Pigo, economies of welfare; John Robinson, the economics of imperfect competition; Edward Chamberlain, theory of monopolistic competition; and P. Srafa, the law of returns under competitive condition. The next question 91, multi-stage sampling is a non-probability sampling, probability sampling, both, or complete enumeration. So here multi-stage sampling means first we have to divide the total population into different strata or different group. Then we have to select the items from those different strata or group. So first, when we in multi-stage sampling, when we divide the total population into different groups, then in this process we use non-probability sampling. In when we divide the total population into different groups, we use non-probability sampling. Then from that particular group, when we choose the sample, we can use the probability sampling. So first, we in multi-stage sampling, when first we divide the population into sample, we use non-probability sampling. Then in the second process, we use probability sampling. So in multi-stage sampling, we use both non-probability and probability sampling. So here right option is option number C. both A and B. So when we divide the total country into different states, and from different states we choose the sample randomly, then it is called as multi-stage sampling. So C is the right option. So in multi-stage sampling, a population is divided into smaller groups in multiple steps to create a sample. For example, you can divide India into states and then select samples randomly from those districts. It is called as multi-stage sampling. Then next question, which of the following assumptions satisfy the case of pure competition? Here assumptions of perfect competition and pure competition given, so we have to find out the assumptions which satisfy only the pure competition market. So you have to know the more or less pure competition and perfect competition are same. Pure competition is a broader perfect competition is a broader concept, and pure competition is a smaller concept. Pure competition includes in perfect competition. So here large concept is perfect competition, and in perfect competition we found pure competition. So the characteristics of perfect competition are large. So if we choose only the three basic characteristics of perfect competition, then it is called as pure competition. So first three characteristics are more important characteristics, so we can distinguish it from perfect competition to pure competition. So the assumptions are, first, large number of buyers and sellers. This is a main characteristic of perfect competition, and this is also a characteristic of pure competition. Then second characteristic, product homogeneity, means similar product, all the firms produce similar product. It is also included in perfect competition and also in pure competition. Then third one is free entry and exit of firms. So free entry and exit of firm, it is also included in pure competition. So these three characteristics are main characteristics which satisfy pure competition. So here 1 2 3 1 2 3 so here in option number A, option number B, option number C, in both three options 1 2 3 are given. So D is the incorrect option. So we have to find out the right option. So we take more characteristics, like fourth number of characteristic, profit maximization. So in pure competition, profit maximization is not included. Then no government regulation. So here no government regulation, this is also not included in pure competition. Then next, perfect mobility of factors of production. So perfect mobility of factors of production, perfect knowledge, these are the basic characteristics of perfect competition. But if we, according to the option, if we consider the pure competition characteristics or assumptions, we can include perfect mobility of factors of production and perfect knowledge about the market in pure competition. So here option number 1 2 3, then last 6 and 7, these all are included in pure competition. But main characteristics of pure competition are first three assumptions, like large number of sellers and buyers, product homogeneity, and free entry and exit of firms. So but option not given, like option number 1 2 3, so we have to consider the option number 6 and 7 in pure competition. So here right option is option number A. Then next question, the most common form of price discrimination in international trade is market segregation, dumping, export restraints, non-tariff measures. So the most common form of price discrimination in international trade, most common form of price discrimination is dumping. In dumping, what happened? In home country, the price of the product is high, and in foreign country price of the product is low. In comparison to home country, foreign country price is low, because we have to capture the foreign market, the new firm, when he enter into the foreign market, he has to establish his brand name. So he sells his product in less price, so that to overcome the competitors and create his brand name. So here dumping is a main or common form of price discussion in international trade. So here B is the right option. Then next question 94. Suppose the money supply is $90, the average price of the output is $1.5, and Q quantity is 300. Find the nominal GDP and velocity. Nominal GDP, nominal gross domestic product, and velocity. Here this data are given. We have to find out the nominal GDP and its velocity. So let's try. So here to solve this problem, we can use the equation of exchange in economics, which is given by MV is equal to PQ. This is called as equation of exchange. Here M means money supply, V means velocity of money, velocity of circulation of money, and P means price level, and Q means Q means quantity of output, or we can say real GDP. So here first we have to find out the nominal GDP. So here first we have to find out the nominal GDP. So nominal GDP, or we can say that is PQ minus PQ is equal to nominal GDP, or we can say price into quantity. So here price is $1.5. So $1.5 into quantity is 300. So 1.5 into 3 is equal to, its value is 450. So here nominal GDP is equal to 450. Then we have to find out the velocity of money. So velocity of money, V is equal to, here equation given as MV is equal to PQ. So from this equation we can find out the V. So V is equal to PQ by M. So here V is equal to PQ by M. So here PQ, we already find out the value of PQ. PQ is 450 by M. M means money supply. Money supply is already given the data $90. So 450 by 90. 450 by 90 is equal to 9 5 is 45. So here value is 5. So first nominal GDP value is 450, and second part velocity of money. Velocity of money is 5. So your right option is 450 and 5. So 450 and 5 given in the option number B. So B is the right option here. Then next question. Social welfare function cannot be derived by democratic vote. This proof is known as theory of second best, Arrow's impossibility theorem, both A and B, neither A or B, what? So here question asks for social welfare function. Social welfare function cannot be derived by democratic vote. This statement, it given as, this is the statement of Arrow's impossibility theorem. Social welfare cannot be derived by democratic vote. So Arrow said this statement that to find out social welfare we cannot derive it by democratic vote. So Arrow's impossibility theorem, it demonstrates that it is impossible to derive a social welfare function that satisfies all of a specified set of reasonable conditions through a democratic voting process. So this is the statement of Arrow impossibility theorem. So here right option is option number B. Then next question. The earliest estimation of poverty line was made by Dadabhai Naroji, Dandekar and Roth, D.T. Lakhadwala, or B.R. Ambedkar. So here earliest estimation of poverty line, or we can say first estimation of poverty line given by Dadabhai Naroji. So here right option is for 96, right option is option number A. So Dadabhai Naroji published a book called Poverty and on British rule in India. So Poverty and on British rule in India, which was published in 1901. So in 1901, a book called Poverty and on British rule in India, Dadabhai Naroji first estimate the poverty line. Then other committees estimate different type of poverty line, BPL, APL, etc. So your first estimation of poverty line was by Dadabhai Naroji. Then next question, matching list 1 and list 2, tit for tat, Nash equilibrium, mixed strategy, dominant strategy. So first option, tit for tat. So here right option is option number B. Tit for tat means the best strategy in repeated prisoner's dilemma games. Though this is called as tit for tat game. Then Nash equilibrium. Nash equilibrium means each player has chosen the strategy given the strategy chosen by the other player. So it is called as Nash equilibrium. Each player has chosen the strategy, whatever may the other do. So each player has chosen the strategy given the strategy chosen by other player. It is called as Nash equilibrium. Then mixed strategy. Mixed strategy it is called as the best strategy for each player in a non-strictly determined game. Then dominant strategy. Dominant strategy means the optimal strategy for a player no matter what the other players does. So dominant strategy means it is the optimal strategy for a player no matter what the other player does. So it is called as dominant strategy. So here option number B is the right option. Then next question, when MPC is equal to 0.5, what is the value of multiplier? So here multiplier value, it is called as K. Multiplier is equal to 1 by 1 minus MPC. The formula of multiplier is equal to 1 by 1 minus MPC. So 1 by 1 minus MPC value given is 0.5. So 1 by 1 minus 0.5 is equal to, it is all 0.5. So 1 by 0.5. So 1 by 0.5 is equal to 2. Its value is 2. So here right option is option number A, 2. Then next question, fixed charge for each unit of good imported is called dash tariff. Specific, ad valorem, excise duty or compound tariff. Fixed charge for each unit of good import. When you import from other country, fixed charge for each unit. So for unit 1, specific tariff, for 2 unit, for 3 unit, for each unit, fixed charge is import. Fixed charge for imported goods. It is called as specific tariff because fixed charge for each unit of goods import. So fixed charge for each unit is called as specific tariff. Then next question, the submission of Haritha Keralam consists of. The submission of Haritha Keralam, it is a project in the district of Kerala. So it is consist of sanitation and waste processing, water conservation, agricultural development, public education. So here 100 number, if we take the different projects under Haritha Keralam, first one is sanitation and waste processing. It is under Haritha Keralam project or mission. Then water conservation, it is also comes under Haritha Keralam. Then agricultural development, it is also under Haritha Keralam, but public education do not come under the Haritha Keralam. So here option number 1, 2, 3 comes under the Haritha Keralam. So option number C is the right option. Here Haritha Keralam, it came in 2016. Then next question, a product tax tends to fall on the consumer if a product tax tends to fall on the consumer. So the tax fall on the consumer when the consumer has to pay the tax or final burden, when the demand is inelastic while supply is elastic. So when demand is inelastic and supply is perfectly elastic, and on the producer when the opposite holds, so it is called as the product tax tends to fall on the consumer. When the demand is inelastic and supply is perfectly elastic, here demand is inelastic and supply is perfectly elastic. So when demand is inelastic, so total burden comes to the consumer, because consumer cannot shift from the particular fixed amount, like in necessary good or in medicines we cannot shift. When price rise we cannot decrease the demand. So here demand is perfectly inelastic. When demand is perfectly inelastic, the total burden of the burden of tax comes under the consumer. So here right option is option number C. Then next question, PYQ effect. So here PYQ effect dash. So PYQ effect concern the effect that increase in income have to increase real wealth, which in turn increases consumption expenditure. No. PYQ effect concern the effect that falling prices have on increasing real wealth, which in turn increases consumption expenditure. This is the right option for PYQ effect. Or PYQ effect, it is otherwise called as real balance effect. A real balance effect. Real balance effect, PYQ effect, or it is otherwise called as real balance effect. In this effect, what happened? In PYQ effect concerns the effect that falling prices have on increasing real wealth. So when price of a goods falls, the real wealth of a person increase, which in turn increases consumption expenditure. So when price of a goods falls, is consumption expenditure increases. This is called as PYQ effect. So here option number B is the right option. Then next question, the AARDRAM ADRAM mission. ADRAM mission. So here first one is launched in the health sector to make government hospitals people friendly by improving their basic infrastructure and capacity to provide services. It is also right. Then second one, aims at developing the PHC public health center into FHC in a phased manner. This is also right. Then patient friendly transformation of outpatient wings of medical college, hospitals and other government hospital. This is also right. So here all of these are right for ADRAM mission. Then next question, consumer economics tells us that the price elasticity of demand for a particular product depends on dash preference. So consumers economics tells, so in consumers economics tells us that the price elasticity of demand for a particular product depends on the dash preference, consumer, producer, seller. It comes under the consumer's preference, because here consumer economics in consumer economics the price elasticity of demand for a particular product depends on the consumer's preference. So it is option number A is the right option. Then next question, Keynes paradox of thrift explain. Keynes paradox of thrift explain. The rate of interest will change so as to reconcile the desire to save and invest. No. Then flexible wages, prices and interest rate can experience change in structure of the final demand. No. An increase in saving, there will be a decline in aggregate spending and employment. Yes, this is the right option. Keynes paradox of thrift. Paradox of thrift. This we know that when saving increases, then investment rise and economy grow. But this is a paradox, or we can say the opposite thing. We can see that when increase in saving, there will be a decline in aggregate spending, because when we save we cannot spend, and employment also decrease, because when we cannot spend, we can save. When we increase our saving, our spending activity declines. When spending activity declines, then when spending activity declines, then what happened? Our demand decreases, then production decreases. When production decreases, employment also decreases. So here employment and aggregate spending decrease when income when we increase our saving. So this is the paradox of thrift according to Keynes. So here option number C is the right option. Then question number 106, if cash reserve ratio is 0.4, the deposit multiplier is. So here question given is cash reserve ratio, CRR is equal to 0.4. CRR, cash reserve ratio, means the commercial banks has to kept a certain amount of money with RBI. So it decide by RBI what percentage of money they kept with RBI. So cash reserve ratio is 0.4. Then deposit multiplier. So here deposit multiplier formula is equal to 1 by cash reserve ratio. So here deposit multiplier formula is 1 by cash reserve ratio. So here we put the value of CRR is equal to 0.4. So here 1 by 0.4 is equal to 2.5. Its value is 2.5. So here 2.5 is in the option number D. So your right option is option number D. Then next question, trickle down effect. So trickle down effect implies, the trickle down effect implies economic growth process benefit all sections of the society. It is right. So what is trickle down effect? Now trickle down effect is the idea that the benefit of the economic growth, particularly when driven by policies that favor businesses and the wealthy person. So businesses and wealthy persons, when they grow, it will eventually trickle down to all sections of the society, including the lower income groups, and wealth generated at the top will lead to the job creation, higher wages, and overall economic improvement for everyone. When rich are getting benefited, it is also benefit to the poor. So it trickle down effect implies economic growth process benefit all sections of the society. Rich, middle class, poor, all sections of the society are benefited by trickle down effect. Then it automatically lead to the fulfillment of other development objective of the economy. Yes, we can take it, because it automatically lead to the fulfillment of other development objective of the economy when trickle down effect implies. So main objective is option number A. It is the basic or main objective of trickle down effect. Then we can also include option number B. Then option C, reduce the income gap between the rich and poor, because when trickle down effect, when the policies that favor business and wealthy person, it will eventually trickle down to all sections of the society, including the lower income groups. So it reduce the income gap between the rich and poor. So here all of these are right options. So here option D is the right option. Then question number 108, if GDP of a country in the year 2020 is 1200 crores and in 2021 it increased to 1300 crores, then the growth rate is in 2020 1200, in 2021 1300. So we have to find out the what is the growth rate in between this time, what is the growth rate. So formula for GDP growth rate, is equal to GDP in the current year minus GDP in the previous year by GDP in the previous year. So GDP in the current year, current year is what? 2021 minus GDP in 2020 minus GDP in 2020 by previous year by GDP in 2020. So here GDP in 2021 is equal to 1300 minus previous year 1200 by 1200 into 100. So here value is 100 by 1200 into 100. So here value is 100 by 12. When we divide 100 by 12, its value is approx 8.33%. So here 8.33 is the right option. So option number B is the right option. Then question number 109, Wagner's law explain. Wagner's law of state increasing state activity. So here Wagner's law explain the relationship between government expenditure and economic development. The income elasticity of demand for government expenditure is greater than 1, both or neither. So we have to know what is the Wagner's law. So Wagner's law posts that as an economy develop, the public sector will grow. When economy develop, public sector grow, leading to increased government expenditure. So when economy grow, public expenditure grow, then it also leads to the government expenditure. So where government spending increases, the economy grows. So here the relationship between government expenditure and economic development, where government spending increases, the economic growth. So it is also right. Then option number 2, the income elasticity of demand for government expenditure is greater than 1. It means that government spending grows is at a faster rate than the national income. Here government spending grows at a faster rate than national income. So the income elasticity of demand for government expenditure is greater than 1. So both option A and B are correct options. So C is the right option here. Then next question. Skewness means absence of symmetry, presence of symmetry, bell shaped, or both B and C. So here question asks for symmetry. Symmetry means absence. Skewness means absence of symmetry. Skewness means absence of symmetry. Symmetry means either it is absence of symmetry. Absence of symmetry means skewness. So in skewness, either it is positive or negative. So if it is neither positive nor negative, it is called as symmetry. And when absence of symmetry found, it is called as skewness. So absence of symmetry is called as skewness. So here right option is option number A. Then next question. Then next question 111. Assertion. Income effect can be positive or negative. Income effect can be positive and negative, right? Then reason, it depends on whatever the good is normal or inferior. It is also right, because income effect can be positive, maybe it can be sometime positive or negative. It depends on whether the good is normal or inferior. In normal good, income effect is positive, but in inferior good, income effect is negative. How? Let's say in normal good, when income rises, rises the demand. But in inferior or low quality good, in inferior good, when income of a person rises, the demand for the inferior good decreases. So it is negative. But in normal good, when income increases, demand for the product also increases. It is called as positive effect. So income effect can be positive or negative. It depends on whether the good is normal or inferior. So both A, assertion and reason are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. So here right option is option number A. Then it is also from the assertion and reason. Assertion is the marginal rate of substitution, MRS, between risk and return will have to equal to the slope of the opposite line. MRS have to equal to the slope of the opposite line. It is right. Then reason is this slope is known as price of risk. This slope is known as price of risk. This is also right. So here assertion is right, reason is also right. The first one is assertion. Assertion, according to portfolio theory, The MRS, marginal rate of substitution between risk and return, represents the trade-off a person is willing to make between risk and return. For optimal investment, this trade-off or MRS must match the slope of the budget line, which represent the market trade-off between risk and return. So assertion is right, and reason is the slope of the budget line in a risk return trade-off is referred as price of risk. It is referred as price of risk, and it indicates how much additional return an investor requires to take an additional risk. So here reason is also right. So here both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Then next question, the transpose of a square matrix is equal to its inverse matrix is a dash. So when you transpose a square matrix, it is also equal to its inverse. Means a matrix transpose and inverse are equal, then it is called as identity matrix, orthogonal, symmetric or weak. So when the transpose of a matrix and the inverse of a matrix are equal, it is called as orthogonal matrix. Orthogonal matrix means when suppose matrix A, if A's transpose of A matrix is equal to inverse of A matrix, then it is called as orthogonal matrix. We can say take an example like A is equal to, if we take 1 0 0 1, this is a matrix, its transpose value is also, when we transpose the value, then what we find 1 0 the 1 0 row, we convert the row into column, so 1 0, this value is transpose is also 1 0, then 0 1 0 1, so its transpose value is 1 0 0 1. The the matrix value is 1 0 0 1, and its transpose value is also 1 0 0 1. Then inverse value, adjoint A by A inverse, it is also inverse value is also 1 0 0 1. So here when the value of transpose and inverse are equal, then it is called as orthogonal value. So here option B is the right option. The next question, infrastructure facility consist of. In infrastructure, there are various facilities comes under infrastructure like irrigation, energy, transport, communication, banking, science, technology, social overhead, all are comes under the infrastructure. Like in irrigation, including flood control, command area development. In energy, we can include coal, electricity, oil, non-conventional source. In transport, we can include railway, roads, shipping, civil aviation. In communication, we can include post and telegraphs, telephones, telecommunication, banking, finance and insurance, science and technology, then social overhead, health and hygiene and education. These all are comes under infrastructure facilities. So here all of the above are right option. All of the above 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So here C is the right option for this question. Then next question, the variable T distribution ranges from. The variable T distribution ranges from. T distribution ranges from minus infinity to plus infinity. T variable, so T distribution, it ranges from minus infinite to plus infinite value. So here option number B is the right option, minus infinite to plus infinite. Then next question, match the following list 1 and list 2 specific factor model. So here specific factor model given by specific factor model given by Paul Samuelson, specific model factor model given by Samuelson and Ronald Jones, Paul Samuelson and Ronald Jones. Then product cycle theory given by Vernon. Then law of reciprocal demand given by J.S. Mill. Then technological gap model given by Posner, So here A for B3, C2 D1. So here right option is option number A. Then next question, in Keynes model output and employment are determined by days and the operation of the labor market are days. So in Keynes model, output and employment are determined by which factor? Output and employment are determined by mainly effective demand. So in Keynes model, output and employment are determined by effective demand, because effective demand concept was given by mainly Keynes. So output and employment are determined by effective demand. Then the operation of the labor market. Operation of the labor market cannot guarantee full employment. The operation of the labor market cannot guarantee full employment, because Keynes believe in the underemployment equilibrium. Classical believe in full employment equilibrium, but Keynes believe in underemployment equilibrium. So full employment is a rare case according to Keynes. So the concept of effective demand and underemployment concept given by Keynes. So here right option is option number C. Then next question, in Harrod-Domer model, the saving in the economy is 20%, incremental capital output ratio is 10, then the growth rate of output is how? So here we have to find out the growth rate. So the formula for the growth rate is equal to saving rate by ICOR, incremental capital output ratio. So here saving rate is equal to given as 20%. So saving rate is equal to 20% by 10%. So 20 by 10 is equal to 2. So here right option is 2. So option number A is the right option. Then next question, how many dollars it would cost to buy a woolen sweater if it is 50 pound and the exchange rate being $1.5 per pound? So here exchange rate is $1.5 per pound. So here we have to find out how many dollars it would cost to buy a woolen sweater. So cost of we have to find the cost in dollar. So cost in dollar is equal to cost in pound into exchange rate. So cost in pound. So here cost in pound is equal to 50 pound. So here if 50 pound and the cost in pound is equal to 50 into exchange rate is equal to $1.5. So here exchange rate is equal to 1.50. So 50 into 1.50 is equal to 75. So here $75. So $75 is the right option. So here C is the right option, 75. Then this is your last question for the today's session. The committees which recommend a shift away from calorie consumption based poverty estimation and a uniform poverty line basket PLB across rural and urban India. So from calorie based poverty estimation to uniform poverty line basket, whose committee recommend this? Allied committee, Lakadwala committee, Tendulkar, or C. Rangarajan committee? So here right option is option number C, Tendulkar committee, which came in 2009. So here we have to remember all the committees are related to poverty estimation. First committee is Allied committee, which came into exist from 1979. Then it is based on calorie intake, like rural and rural person 2400 calorie, and for urban person it is 2100 calorie. Then Lakadwala committee, it came in 1993. Lakadwala committee 1993. It based on the consumption based approach. Then Tendulkar committee, food, clothing, shelter, it comes under poverty line basket. Tendulkar committee comes in 2009. Then last committee, C. Rangarajan committee, consumption, education, health, housing, all are indicators of C. Rangarajan committee. It comes in 2014 last. So here Allied committee came in 1979, then Lakhodwala committee came in 1993, then Tendulkar committee came in 2009, then C. Rangarajan committee came in 2014. So this is the chronology of different committees comes under the poverty estimation. these are important. In some question ask for the chronology, what is the chronology of these committees. So you have to remember the chronology or the committee and its year. So first one is 1979, 1993, then 2009, then 2014. So this is all about for the today's session. So I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please subscribe to this channel for more such videos. In next video we are going to discuss 2023's July Kerala state eligibility state. This is all about the January Kerala set. In 3 parts we have covered all the questions. So in the upcoming video we are going to discuss the July set, Kerala set. So thank you.